that's perfect. So,
I think if I was a coach, that is what I would do. I would do some kind of free group online thing to bring those leads in that I could then pull away for private one-on-one coaching.
Right.
Or group coaching.
Well, yeah.
And then the people who don't sign up for your coaching, you want to be an affiliate and sign them up for BizBud, because that's our biggest use for BizBud is lost leads. So they don't buy your product, but you still want to keep them in your funnel and have them be a customer. It's have them do it. And we're finding SAS, authors, and coaches are the 3 primary places.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's like you have nothing to lose because they already said no to you. You might as well offer them something for $1 and say, if you aren't going to do coaching, do this.
Here, go do this. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. And really my goal was just to beat Sean. So I did. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Just going to keep doing it. So.
What did you beat him in? Attendees?
He had 3 viewers on one of his last posts, and I think he had like 200 views by the next day. And I had 5, I think 7 was the peak, but people were like kind of dropping in and out. So 5 that were pretty steady. And then I had 300, almost 400 by the next day. So I was like, I totally called him this morning. I'm like, I whooped you. And he's like, okay, now you know. And I was like, yep, if we just keep one-upping each other, man, we're going to be on fire. So I think we're lighting it under each other's butts.
That's important.
It's a good relationship there.
It is, isn't it? It's just no codependency at all. No, none of that.
No, that's really cool.
Welcome, Adam.
Hey,
Hi,
guys,
Adam.
Good to see you.
Good to see everybody.
So I'm really hoping you're going to pull out one of your biggest struggles with sales to ask our guest today. Challenge him.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
Or will be here for.
Hey, Adam, I never got an email from the chamber for next Tuesday. Can I just show up?
Yeah, because I added you and I did get confirmation.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. So it's the downtown library?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. And it's the 150th anniversary of the chamber. So
cool.
Wow.
Maybe I'll even wear a skirt and look like a human. No yoga pants. I'll have to go downtown with a real person.
I make no judgments.
Jill, what side of the bed did you wake up on this morning?
He's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good week. What can I tell you?
That's good. Adam, we're so excited to hang out with you tomorrow.
I wish I could.
It's funny. I just had to check scores. Damn it. Cubs are losing.
Do they? Yeah. Here's my main question. Do they have good nachos at that bar?
I have no idea.
You'll know tomorrow.
I love nachos.
I've been told that they have good drinks because it's a distillery tasting room. So one of our staff members, her brother works there, so that's how we get hooked up. So
cool.
Yeah.
So Dave, you didn't finish. Where are you moving to?
Oh, I'm just staying in the area. I just sold my house. That's all.
But did you find another place to live?
There's lots of hotels around.
Oh, good for you.
Actually, right after I sell my house, I will be going to Hawaii for a week.
And then you'll worry about it.
Wait, we have a native. I have to say it right. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
And going with a little house from there? I could see Dave living in a little house.
Like in a shack on the beach.
No, just one of those, little, they're fancy. But the little
tiny houses.
The tiny. I could see Dave buying one of those tiny houses.
Absolutely.
And rolling it into different locations when he gets tired of the spot it's in.
Absolutely. It'd be decked out with solar panels and a little rotating satellite dish to pick up internet.
Heck yeah. See, I totally see you doing that.
Wait, too, because he's going to be doing the networking event from Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
So Monica has big opinions on that one.
No, I was like, oh, I'm so jealous.
And where in Hawaii?
Kauai.
Okay.
Yep. All you need to do is get a client in Hawaii, and then you can go visit him.
Yes. Sign me up. If they need payroll, I will take care of that, and I will service them well.
You know, Adam, when I'm there, I'm going to need a bodyguard. You think you want to come with me?
You know what? For as small and unintimidating as I am, if you look on my Facebook page, there was a period of time I used to shave my head. My son's a cancer survivor, so I bicked my head.
Right, yeah.
When I am bicked, shaved, bald, I'm a lot scarier looking. So in return for bodyguarding, I'll do it, but I'll shave my head so at least I can kind of look scary.
That's serious devotion to the wanting to go to Hawaii.
I'm good with it. For Hawaii, I'm totally.
Nice.
Welcome, Abby. How you been?
Good. How are you?
Great. Glad to have you today.
I am excited. It's been a couple weeks that I haven't been able to do it, so I'm glad I can be here today.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
I know.
Abby, did Sean get back to you?
He did. I was actually just going to chat you.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay.
He emailed me this morning, and then we had a really good conversation. So I look forward to possibly working with him. So thank you for that.
Sure thing.
Very cool. Looks like, Dennis, you figured out how to use Zoom on your phone. Good job.
Well, it's on my phone, but I'm trying to get it on my computer, and the code you gave me says it's a bad code.
Oh, we've had that problem if you're already logged into a Zoom account. So the solution would be to log out on your computer of Zoom and then click the link, and it should bring you right in.
Okay.
Seems to be a bug with Zoom. I'm not sure why they haven't addressed that yet.
All right.
Hi, Alan. So you've talked to Dave a couple times, but I haven't gotten a chance to say hi officially yet.
Hi, Chantel. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you as well.
And Steve, you got away from the family for an hour?
No, they're here, but yeah, taking 45 minutes or so. They're all, heading out tomorrow. So.
All right. Well, we appreciate the support. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, totally. Just been kind of touring around Boulder and going around. So.
Showing them the very, very interesting people in Boulder.
It's no different from Santa Cruz. So.
Okay.
It's actually exactly the same. So it's no surprise.
Cool stuff.
So Tim, you think you're gonna be able to get away tomorrow?
Oh yeah, yep, I'll be there.
I know you've been really busy with a lot of new sales and everything. So
crazy, absolutely crazy. But nah, I put it on my calendar. Yeah, I blocked off a bunch of time. I have like 7 appointments today.
Oh wow.
Like between like 1 to an hour and a half. So. Yeah, getting my work in today so I can play tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking some time to join us today. Yeah, I figured we could probably leave there in the afternoon, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Cool.
Get back before the traffic gets crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if once the game starts at 2, and so we kind of figured that's a good window of time to get out of downtown as well. Actually going on.
Yeah. Welcome, Jade.
We got Bethanne and Jade. Cool.
So we'll give it just a few more minutes. People are still joining in.
People pop in, but yeah, very cool.
Bethanne, welcome.
How are you, Dave?
Good. You still signing people up left and right?
Trying to.
That's what I like to hear.
Trying to.
All right.
Hey, Chantel, did you ever get in touch with our gal, Rhonda?
Not in touch officially. I sent her an email, so I was going to send her another one here soon if I don't hear back.
She's super interested in hearing more about your technology.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Hey, Don, we got the hat.
Not the speakers, though.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently not. We'll see. The hat is so big it blocks the signals. Hopefully Stephanie will have a signal from her, or video. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, seems like she's been having some internet problems lately.
Yeah.
Oh, well, since you're all quiet now, I'm just going to make this real quick announcement. So tomorrow I'll be speaking at the Loveland Startup Week for blogging. If any
Where's
of you,
that going to be at?
huh?
Where in Loveland are they doing that?
I don't know. I just know I'm speaking at the library. That's all I know. I'm 9:30 and 10:30. They told me that's where I'm going to be, and I said, okay. So
record that, or have a friend record it from the audience, or do a Facebook Live thing with it or something.
What?
I said you should record it.
Oh yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be really fun. Like have somebody just walk up. It'd be fun. You can have some random stranger in the front and just be like, hold my phone. All right, cool.
Now follow me around.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm speaking twice, and so you're in Loveland tomorrow.
You should definitely do Facebook Live it.
Yeah, I didn't even think. I do have a helper with me, so I can probably get her to do
Give a
it.
stranger your phone and hope they don't drop it or walk away.
I don't mind.
Yeah, audience participation. Today you get to hold the phone while we do Facebook Live.
Exactly.
Nice. Well, welcome everybody. It's great to see a good group on our lovely virtual networking group. And okay. Sorry, my screen just changed. Somebody just jumped in. But yeah, it's lovely to have you all here. So as you know, we have the awesome Alan Gordon speaking for us today. So we'll have him in just a bit. And then as you also know, we record these so that we can put them on YouTube later. And if you would like to, go ahead and chat in where you're joining us from and who you are. And the people on the phone, I know you might have a little bit of trouble with that. So if you don't, I'll call on you anyway. We'll forgive you. And yeah, so here we go. Abby from Denver, you were the first one.
Yes, I was first at something. Best me ever. I was like, I'm going to beat everyone this time and be first.
Nice.
So, hi, I'm Abby Harrison. My company is Assist for the Win. I'm a virtual assistant that works mainly with solopreneurs or very small business owners to kind of help take those tasks that you're not getting to off your plate so you can focus more on networking and building your business. So lots of different areas: marketing, client relations, admin type work. So yeah, that's me.
Excellent. Thank you, Abby. And congrats on getting really launched with that and doing well.
Yes, thank you. It's grown so much quicker than I thought was going to happen, which is a great problem to have. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent. All right, and Miss Jill.
So I'm Jill Wisehart, and my husband and I own a business called Yellow Schmellow. We do two primary things. Last month you got to hear us talk about Rick Raditz, and Rick talked about BizBud, which is an accountability network for small business owners to help them stay accountable and grow their business. And then also we've just been certified to do something called in-market leads, which is a whole new way to get leads that are names, emails, addresses. It's way, way cool. And if anybody knows people that are paying for pay-per-click or getting leads, they should try to talk to me, because it's all based on artificial intelligence, and it is the coolest thing. And Dave, that's probably why I'm so cocky, is because we're just having the best time working on this project. So if anybody wants to know about how you can find people who are looking for your product, they have a way to do it, and it's legal.
Awesome.
All right. Jill's all full of pep today, so we're having fun with her.
I am.
Monica from Cheyenne.
Okay, I'm on. Okay, I'm off mute. Oh wait. So I'm Monica Miller, and I'm coming to you from Cheyenne, Wyoming, where I own my own business called Monica Rice, and I help entrepreneurs become coaches. Oh my goodness. I didn't sleep well all last night. So I help entrepreneurs become authors And then I help them with the content after they become a famous author. So if you be wanting to write a book, let's make 2017 your year to get that book out so you can grow your business, create more income, and gain more clients.
Thank you, Monica. And then Destiny from Loveland.
Hello, everybody. Coach Destiny here, and I help solopreneurs and entrepreneurs figure out what type of self-sabotage they are doing, but also find out the cause of the self-sabotage, not just treating the symptoms, but the actual cause of what's going on. And I help them go in and change that so that they can stop the self-sabotage, but they can also grow their business to be as successful as they've ever wanted, as well as make more money and have more time to spend with friends and family. So Destiny from Loveland, Colorado.
Excellent. Tim Washburn. Dr. Tim. Ah, all right, fine. I'll skip you for now. Adam Kemper.
All right, I'm unmuted, sorry.
There you go.
This is Adam Kemper with Employer Essentials. My friend Harris here. He is the monkey on the back of business owners, and we help take care of that. One of the most common ways we're seeing right now is that people who hired at the beginning of the year are starting to find out that if they don't have policies, then they really can't manage that person. And so we're helping doing a lot of handbooks and policy implementation for a lot of companies as a starting point. So if you know somebody who's struggling because they hired somebody and they didn't really have a plan to manage them, just to, yeah, here's some work, I need somebody, that's what we can help with.
Thank you. All right, and our Disney princess, Jade. I knew you were for that one.
You guys are so mean to me, but that's why I keep you. So I'm Jade Alexander with Found Synergy Videography, and we specialize in working with specifically small business owners, but anyone that needs to do their video services, we're here for you. And my ask right now is, for those of you that want to do training videos for employees that you can put in policies for, I'm going to get on his back with that one. Or if you'd like to actually make something that can train them so you don't have to spend all the time yourself holding their hand, please contact us. We'd love to make some training videos for you. Jade Alexander with Found Synergy Videography.
It's like a good time saver. Steve over in Boulder now officially.
Yes, I'm Steve. I'm head of creative at Evolve Creative. We're an agency that does design, media, and strategy for startups, medium-sized businesses that are past their seed funding, and kind of help them launch their product and business.
And Don.
Howdy.
There you go. Hey there.
Hey, this is Don Graham. I'm with a general contractor here in Denver. I'm also the inventor and CEO of Safe Pro Guard, the inventor of the Easy Rider Guardian.
Thank you, Don. And Tim. Dr. Tim.
All right, I'm back now.
You're
Sorry
back.
about that. One of my employees kept on blowing out computers and the air compressor was going off. Got a little noisy in here. I'm Tim Washburn. I own Integrity Technologies. We're a business IT company, so we can help you with your network, your computers, making everything talk to each other and make it simple. We also have a data center, so we can provide you with full hosting solutions, such as basic web, email, all the way to full-on virtual servers, help you run your company.
Thank you, Tim. And Bethanne.
I thought you forgot me.
Of course not.
Hi. I'm Bethanne Dressel from Colorado Currency, and we are a barter trade exchange here in Colorado. And we also have people all over the United States, Canada, and even in Jamaica. So if you'd like to know more about how to stretch out your cash by using trade, please get in touch with me.
See, doesn't she introduce herself so much better than I did for her last week? All right, thank you, Bethanne. And Stephanie.
Okay, so make sure I'm unmuted. I'm Stephanie O'Brien. I'm a fiction author, comic artist, video editor, marketing coach, and copywriter. I've published 4 books through Amazon's Kindle, and I help business owners to attract more clients by helping them to figure out what marketing materials they need and what to say in those materials. And if they don't have the time or desire to create their own materials, I do it for them.
Nice. Thank you, Stephanie. You've got that down to a science now, don't you?
Well, I had the sense this time to get it written down. I find I just don't ad-lib too well.
Well, good job, Stephanie.
Thank you.
And Dave.
Hello, I'm Dave Kramer from AllProWebTools, the all-in-one software solution for managing your small business. We are in our 8th year of business, and we were just ranked #1 for CRM solutions by G2 Crowd, which is an independent software review company. So if you have any questions about software for managing your business, let me know.
All right, and then Dennis.
Hi, everybody. My first time here this week. Chantel called me today and asked me if I would like to join, and I was definitely told I would like to join this group. We are my company is Printing Done Quickly, and we are a full-service printing company that does anything you can imagine, from business cards to bus wraps. We're located in Denver, but we actually serve the entire United States as well as some international customers too. Dennis with Printing Done Quickly.
Thank you, Dennis. Cool. Well, we have our, unless I missed anybody. Everybody good?
I think you got them all. Good job.
Awesome. All right, so we have an awesome speaker today. So Dave's going to introduce him because he's gotten to talk to him more. However, as you have questions for him, he's go ahead and put those in the chat. Get some good questions for him going there, and that way, as he's speaking, we can be able to be ready with those questions when he's ready for them.
It is a great pleasure for me to have the opportunity to introduce Mr. Alan Gordon from the Big Book of Sales. I have been following him on YouTube for quite a while. I actually used some of his videos to train some of my sales team. He's an author. He's got decades of experience in sales, and I think you're going to learn a lot from him. So what is your #1 biggest sticking point in sales? And we're all in sales because we got to tell people about our business. What is the one thing that's driving you crazy about sales? Go ahead and throw that into the comments, and we'll go ahead and let Alan take it away with his presentation.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you great.
Perfect. Thank you. It's nice to meet you all. Chantel, I have to pass it back to you. You didn't say what you do.
Oh, I'm with Dave, so software.
Okay.
Small business software.
All right. Well, sticking with the networking theme, typically when I introduce myself, I have my business card, Big Book of Sales, and then on the back, I read from the back. And it basically says, if you hear this on a regular basis, then you and I should probably talk. We already have somebody for that. You ever heard that one? You know, it sounds really interesting, but give me a call in 2 weeks, and we're going to take a really close look at this. You know, really, really interesting. Can you send me an email with all the details, and we'll take a look at it? Wow, you know, that was a really great presentation. I really like that. We're going to be getting a few more quotes, and then we're going to be making a final decision. Wow, this is really, really interesting. We need to think about this a little bit. This is really important. You know, I was shopping around, and I think I can get what you do. I think I can get it a little bit cheaper somewhere else. Or this is a little bit more than we were planning to spend, so I don't really think we're going to be able to do this. Or the classic, I really need to talk this over with my wife, my partner, my husband, my boss, my CEO. If you've ever heard those are called objections, okay? So, and I can help you with those. But here's the thing. A lot of times people will tell me, well, you really can't help me because you've never sold this or in this market or in that market. The truth is, it doesn't matter what you sell. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I work with people all over the world. It doesn't matter whether you're in business to business, business to consumer. It doesn't matter whether it's a service, a product, whether you're selling yourself. It really doesn't matter. All of those objections and a few more make up the entire basket of objections. There aren't a whole lot more objections than that. And the reason that objections are the same all across the universe is because of customer psychology. The customer really likes what you're saying, they're interested, they need it, but when it comes to a point to moving forward, we all respond the same way, and it doesn't matter whether it's a big commitment or a little commitment, it doesn't matter. Our psychology prevents us from moving forward. And these things come out. You've all heard it. I know that there's not one person there who can tell me you have an objection that I haven't heard yet, but maybe you can. But the truth is all the objections are the same because it comes from psychology. It's not about your product or your service or them. It's about what's going on in their mind. All right. So I know I work with a lot of small business owners, and I want to give you, if you're freaking out about sales and just say, you know what, I do printing. I don't really know anything about sales, or I do, coaching. I'm not really a salesman. I get that, but I'm going to give you an analogy. Okay. When my son was younger, I coached his baseball team. And when they were, 9, 10, 11 years old, they'd be facing this really big pitcher, a really big kid. He's throwing the ball really hard. Takes a lot of courage just to get in the batter's box. And sure enough, one of the pitcher throws his fastest fastball, and it hits one of the kids in the arm or in the leg. And they're just flat on the ground, and they're just crying. The truth is, what I realized is they're in shock. Right? They got hit really hard by a really hard fastball, and they're in shock, and they're crying. By the time they're 12, they don't really cry anymore, but 11, 10, 9, 8, they just cry. And I realized that they're in shock. So what I started to realize to do was I'd go out there and I would just let them lie there, and I'd just say, all right, take a deep breath for me and see if you can hold it. And they go, and I take a deep breath and try to hold it. And I'd say, all right, do that one more time. Take a deep breath for me and hold it. All right, now you kind of get them a little bit out of the shock. And then I say, all right, where does it hurt? And we try to shrink the pain down to, okay, so it's here on your arm. Okay, let's see, is that okay? Move it around. All right, get up, go to first base. All the parents give them a standing ovation. Here's the thing, right? You guys are not salespeople. I get that. But you guys are freaking out about sales. Most people are just in a panic about it. I don't want to know. I don't really know anything about it. It overwhelms you, okay? Well, take a deep breath and hold your breath for a second and calm down, because almost every single one of you is maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 little techniques away from being competent at sales. Look, I mean, if you do printing, or I wrote it down here, printing and coaching and writing services and leads and networking and design stuff and, business IT, I get it. You're not a salesman, but you don't have to be overwhelmed by it. There's probably 1 or 2, or usually at most 3. If there are 2, 3, 4 simple things that you can learn, that, okay, relax. There's a process here. We're going to move the client from point A to point B to point C. We're going to learn how to close, and we're going to get more business. It's not anything really to be afraid of. It's not anything that really should overwhelm you. Selling is a very, very simple process. And I think what differentiates me, and Dave, I appreciate your comments and compliments. And I think what differentiates me and why a lot of folks really like my materials is because I really break it down into very, very simple steps, words and phrases that you can actually use. I've read every sales book. I'm sure everyone here has bought sales books, right? And if you're like me, I get to page 50, I go, gee, I wonder when they're going to start talking about selling. And I get to page 100 and I go, this guy's personal story and his life story and his kids. I wonder when they're going to talk about sales. And then at the very end, it says, and then you just ask for the sale. Right? And I read the whole book and I walked away with maybe 1 or 2 nuggets. I am the exact opposite. You don't care about me. You don't care about my story. You don't care about what I sell. You care about what you sell. And so what I'm able to do is break it down into, and Dave, you can confirm this, break it down into real words and real phrases. If you just watch one of my YouTube videos, you'll walk away with 4 pages of notes just from a 5-minute video.
Very
Not
true.
reading a 200-page book and saying, when is he going to teach me how to sell? Right? I mean, they sold you enough to buy the book, but they actually don't teach you how to sell. And I'm not criticizing anybody else, because there's some great sales teachers out there. But the truth is, and I think you all know what I'm talking about, you read these books, and they're more about motivation and personal success stories than they are about words and phrases and techniques. And the truth is, if you just relax and you just focus on your sales process a little bit, a lot of you might cold call. Some of you may never cold call. A lot of you use networking and get referrals. A lot of you, go to trade shows and events and things like that. Just in the few short minutes, I realize there's lots of different ways that you gather customers. But the truth is, what do you say to the customer when you start the conversation? What do you say to the customer to move it forward? What do you say when the customer says, we really need to think about. Send me the email with all the details and we'll take a look at it. Rather than being lost in an ocean of, gee, I can't do this, there are some very, very specific techniques that you can ground yourself in. And the real thing is you can watch all my YouTube videos. It's big, just Google Big Book of Sales and you know, YouTube, all the videos are all there. In fact, if you just Google closing techniques and you go to YouTube and type in closing techniques, I think I have 3 or 4 videos just on the first page. So you can watch all the videos, but the real value is being able to turn that around and translate that into your specific sales scenario. So I'm going to teach you one sales technique, and then I don't want to spend the whole time talking about me or things that don't relate to you. I'll open it up to questions. So how do you deal with objections? Okay, when somebody says, I need, send me an email and we'll think about it, or I can't really work with you, you're too small, your company's too small, I need to work with a bigger, more reputable company, or maybe we'll do this in a month, okay? So here's the thing, okay? Understand from a customer psychology point of view. When somebody gives you an objection, from their perspective, it's what's called a finality statement. They're not going to do business with you and they've given you a reason why. Okay, I'm not going to do business with you. I'd rather work with a more reputable, AllProWebTools. What the hell's that? I want to work with a company I've heard of. Okay, I would just feel more comfortable. So that's a finality statement. I've just told you that we're not going to do business. Okay, so what your job as a salesperson is to turn the finality statement around and to open the conversation up and extend the conversation. So there's a 3-step technique that you can use for handling objections. Number 1 is agree. Number 2 is to paraphrase. And number 3 is to ask questions to gather more information. So as an example, if Dave, you told me, say, hey, Alan, I couldn't work with you. I never heard of AllProWebTools. I got to work with a bigger company. You understand, right? I have to work with a bigger company. Agree, paraphrase, and ask questions. Dave, I completely understand what you're saying. I get it. If I was in your situation, I'd probably say the exact same thing. I agreed with them, right? Then I paraphrase. You would feel more comfortable working with a larger, more reputable company. Am I right? Paraphrase. But let me ask you, what's the real reason, or what are some of the things you're not comfortable with? And we went from we're not doing business to what are some of the things that you're not entirely comfortable with, or what are some of the things that we can talk about that might make you feel more comfortable, or what's the real reason that we're not doing business right now? So it depends. Agree, paraphrase, and ask questions. There are many ways, 6, 7, 8, 9 really good ways to handle objections, but that's a really good formula to memorize, that whenever they tell you no, oh, I completely understand. Yeah, I get it. You want to think about it for 2 weeks. I completely understand. Agree with them. Paraphrase. It's a very important decision, and you want to be 100% comfortable with your decision. So why make a decision today when you can make a decision 2 weeks from now? But let me ask you, what are some of the things that you're concerned about? And we opened it up from a closed, we're going to think about it, call me back in 2 weeks, which most salespeople say, or even most small business owners say, well, okay, 2 weeks. So that'd put us out to the 14th. You want to call on Tuesday the 14th or Wednesday the 15th? Which will work better for you, right? Me personally, I'd rather close you while I have you on the phone right now, or while I have you right there in front of me. Okay, I don't want to call you back on the 14th or the 15th, because as you know, you probably if you spend time trying to acquire customers, you probably spend 90% of your time leaving messages for those people, and they're never gonna answer the phone again. You had them, you lost them, the next sales guy got them. So rather than panic and just say, oh my God, this is overwhelming, I'm an artist, I'm not a salesman. I get that. I can agree, paraphrase, and ask questions. I completely understand what you're saying. You're an artist. You're not a salesperson. I get that. Sales is a whole foreign language to you. But let me ask you, what are the 2 or 3 things where you're getting most stuck? And all of a sudden we could start talking about 1, 2, 3 things. Some of you might be 4, 5, or 6 things away from being a good salesperson. Most of you are probably 1 or 2 techniques or ideas away from actually having a credible grasp of the sales process. So with that, I'll pause and, am I supposed to look at the chat, or you guys are more tech savvy than me?
We'll handle the chat for you, but at this point,
thanks.
Thank you. We'll let folks raise their hand if they have a question for Alan. Boy, Alan, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, looks like Jill's first up there.
Dave, I have a new product that I'm working on. And people are buying the product, but it's taking them longer to launch the product. So I feel like I'm in the having to resell to them because they may not be dragging their feet, but it feels like they're dragging their feet. What sales techniques can I use to have them not feel like I'm pushing them to get something launched, but that I don't want things to just fall apart because they haven't committed to what they said they would do?
I'm not sure I understand the situation.
Okay,
exactly.
I'll give you an example. So it's a software play. They have to send an email to their list, or they have to be in touch with their customers to sell my product. They say they're going to do it. They have to do a video first. Oh, the video's not done, or this isn't done, or that. So they've committed to buy, but their feet haven't acted on getting it completed. So they haven't.
So what you've got to do is create a sense of urgency, Jill, and
Okay.
you've got to give people a reason. So what you're really asking me is, what's the benefit of doing this today rather than waiting until all the pieces are in place and maybe next June, July, December? Because here's the reason why you'd want to do that. Yeah, I know, I understand all the pieces aren't in place. Agree, paraphrase, and either ask questions or drive it to a close. Yeah, I completely understand. You're right, all the pieces are not in place yet. We don't have the video running yet. We don't have this yet. But let me ask you this. If we can get started today, what would that mean to your business? Or let me show you, rather than wait until November. It may never be done, right? So
no, they have to do it. So
they have to do it, yeah.
They have to do it.
So you've already made the sale then?
Yeah, I've made the sale, but then I haven't completed the sale because they haven't done their part.
You're not making any money yet because they haven't implemented it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to find a way to create urgency.
And how do you do that without feeling really pushy?
Well, I'm not a marketing person. I'm more of a salesperson. Okay. But I don't know. I would create certain metrics and milestones that, look, here's an example. Here's an example of someone who was just like you. They weren't sure that they had all the information. They couldn't get started. Let me tell you what they did. And they did this, 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 and this. Now, what I need you to do, since you've already made this commitment, well, I need you to commit to do this, this, and this, and this. Can I count on you to do that? That's a really good phrase that you can use. Can I count on you to do that? So once they say, yeah, I'll do it, they probably all told you, yes, I'll do it. I'll probably do it next week, but you have to cement it. It's like setting an appointment. Okay, we're going to meet next Tuesday at 10 o'clock at Starbucks. Can I count on you? Now, if there's any change, I need you to text me or to call me or email me. Can I count on you to do that? It's another way to firm up appointments. What you're trying to do is firm up people's activity by just saying, hey, here's what you just committed. Can I count on you to do that?
That's a great point. What other questions do we have? Jade, I know you've been anxious. Go for it.
Okay, so I feel bad asking for money for my services.
Yes.
I'm really uncomfortable with that because those of you that know me personally, I tend to be very generous and kind. I'll bring you cookies, and I'm not the kind of person that wants things back. And I just want to do what my mind wants me to do, which is the art, the creativity, the video, this, that. But I don't want to ask for money. I just want them to give it to me and be okay with it.
Okay, so what you want to do is you want to focus on a contract or an agreement or a handshake rather than on money, okay? So I'm going to give you two closes, Jade. One is called the list close and one is called the permission close, okay? So Jade, what we agreed on is we're going to do a video that includes this, this, and this. And we're going to do this at your location, which is at 23 4th Street, right? We also agreed that we would blah, 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 blah. We also agreed that we would do a live Facebook stream, blah, 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 blah. You list everything that you agreed to. Now, here's the permission clause. With your permission, what I'd like to do is get this scheduled for next week. It's called the permission clause. It's the easiest. I've made millions and millions of dollars in sales using the permission clause, and you couldn't have a softer close. With your permission, I'd like to go ahead and get my team scheduled to be out there on Tuesday. Will that work for you?
Okay. And then they need to give me the money. So like when I'm there, I want them to hand the money, and they
No,
don't
you
want
already
to hand
have
me.
well, again, you need to focus more on the contract and the money. So if I'm a small business owner and I just agreed to allow you in, and you in your list, and you say, and we're going to do all of that for, $1,100, and you agreed to do $250 up front, and you're going to pay me $250 at each milestone. Okay, with your permission, I'd like to go ahead and schedule the first milestone for next Tuesday.
It's like a magician. You're like, look over here, and then scooted that in. That was like.
So add the money. If the money's your issue, add that to the list, and then just say, and we're broke it up into 2 payments. Your first payment is $500. That's going to be due on when we show up, and then $500 there. Did I leave anything out? No, you pretty much covered it. Okay, then with your permission, what I'd like to do is go ahead and get that scheduled for next Tuesday. Will that work for you?
Okay.
Awesome.
That is really cool. I like
Thank
that.
you. All right, Adam, go for it.
I've done a lot of sales in relationships and things where I've started it from that direction. But as our marketing grows, I get more cold leads through our web capture and through clicks through some of our internet marketing. And those turn into more of a bid process where they put in some basic information for what they need for payroll, and they want to call and a basic quote. And they really are defensive about not wanting to engage in the conversation where you can turn it into a value interaction. And I'm finding it's tough, and I don't want it to become a confrontation. So I kind of just back off and, okay, I'll give you the quote, but it totally commoditizes the interaction. And I'm finding that the more cold, web clicks, the more my marketing does, the more I have those kind of interactions. So I need to be better at them.
Yeah, that's a great point, Adam. I once worked at a place where we tried to do government bids. So you'd go out on a government website, there'd be all these bids, and then you'd just put in your bid. It was completely blind, no one to talk to. You could never win. I mean, because they had already decided who was going to win, but the law required them to get 3 more bids, but they'd already made the decision. It's called blind bidding, and that's really what you're doing is blind bidding. You're never going to win at a blind bid. So what you do is, if they'll engage you in a conversation, what you have to do is if everyone's selling apples and that's what they ask for, you're going to offer oranges. Okay, you don't offer them exactly what they want. You offer the bundled services. And let me tell you why our customers, in addition to what you asked for, let me tell you why they always also asked for this. Now you're different. Okay, it's the only way you can win in a competitive situation is to be different. You have to be a zebra in a herd of horses, because if you're just like every other horse, you have a 1 in 0% chance of winning, as I'm sure you know. If you have no personal relationship, if you have no, no in the back door and all that stuff, the people that win are the people that have the relationship and are in the back door. The only way you can win is to be a zebra in a herd of horses, and you'll do that by adding services, doing things differently, explaining why your company is different and how we do things. And because we're different, we can often save our customers 20, 30, 40%. Let me show you an example of how we did that. But we didn't just do straight what you asked for. We also tied in 401k elements as well. And as soon as we tied that in, that lowered everybody's costs. That's why our clients love us. Just try to be different.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks for that question, Adam. We're going to take some more questions in just a minute, but I want to take a second to call out some of the great comments that Alan is getting in our chat. Destiny said, brilliant. Monica said, I like that. May I have your permission? And Tim Washburn also agrees. He likes the may I have your permission. And then Jade has now labeled you the magician of sales.
Thank you.
All right, so Destiny has a question.
Hi there. As a coach, I have the opportunity to be very, very honest with my clients and tell them what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear. And when my clients go out and tell other people about me, they'll say stuff like, oh, she hits you in the back of the head with a spiky 2x4, or, oh, she's a hard ass on you. And I'm like, please don't say that. Like, so how can I either teach my clients how to sell me, or what can I do to, like, that I feel is kind of giving me a bad rap. And I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, I do it, but from a different place. Like, it's a place of moving you forward. But the people that are hearing it haven't met with me yet to know that.
I understand what you're saying. So what you're saying is you hit people in the back of the head out of love and care for them.
Correct.
I get
Always.
it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm the same way with my coaching clients. I don't tell them what they want to hear. I tell them what they need to hear, and I can appreciate what you're saying. I mean, you're really again into the realm of marketing. Okay. How you market yourself. So I would give them, or if you want them to refer you, I would send them an email, say, I really appreciate your business. And we're at the phase of the relationship now where I'm going to ask you for referrals. I'm sure you know hundreds of people that would benefit from my coaching. You know, we're in a similar situation than you, not your competitors. We don't want to help your competitors. We just want to help other people that you know that I can help. And here are some bullet items that you know, basically teach them how to sell. And then when someone comes to you and says, oh, you know, I heard that you were, you know, you hit people in the back of the head with a 2x4, you go, you know, of course you make fun of it. It's absolutely, right? It's because I care about people. That's why I hit them in the, no, I'm just kidding. You know, I actually work with them, and, you know, and then I give them tough love. I teach them what they need to know, not what they really want to hear. I'm not their mother.
Thank you.
But again, that's a little bit more in the realm of marketing, but I would kind of teach them what you want them to say by sending them an email that they can then forward to everybody.
Okay, great.
All right, we probably have time for one or two more questions. Are there any more? Monica.
Yeah. I like gallery view. Going on with life. Okay, so my question is, how do you, I don't know how else to say this, but how do you stop chasing clients? Like, I feel like sometimes, like, for example, one lady, I've been talking to her for about 2 weeks, and at first she wanted me to do this, and then she changed it to this, and now she's like, well, I think I want you to help me with my blogging, but I still need to figure some things out in my head. And I'm like, well, what is there to figure out? Do you want to do it or not? So how do I guess, how do I bridge that gap of not feeling like I want to pressure them, but how do I kind of be like, call them out on like, why you hesitated?
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, and a couple of things, Monica. Number one is they're pulling you around by the nose, right? They're in complete control of the situation. You're in complete not control. You're just following them. The only reason you would follow them, if it was a normal person, you would say, hey, I'm done with you. But the reality is you think they're going to pay you money for your services, so you think it's worthwhile to follow them. So you've put them in a control situation. So what you want to do in a very, very nice way, and I work with folks in health insurance, and all they do is leave messages all day long to the same 100 people over and over and over again. And what you find is if you stop leaving the messages and you call them 3 or 4 weeks later, they're way more receptive. Because what she's doing is she's relying on you to constantly be there and do what she tells you to do. And the minute you're not there, she realizes she may not get this service. It's a little bit, in sales, there's a concept of a takeaway. Okay, and it's a psychological technique. You call it a trick, whatever you want to call it. But you say, hey, you know what? I may not be the right person for you, right? The way, I typically don't work with customers. I may not be right for you. You may need to find someone who is more, works the way you work. Here's my process. We do a first meeting, we do a second meeting, we make a final decision, we move forward, we say yes or no. Okay, so you basically take control by the takeaway. You say, I may not be right. I've been thinking about our relationship over the last 6 months. We've been talking every week, but we haven't done anything, right? And I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking maybe I'm not right for you. Maybe what you're looking for is something different than what I can provide. But here's what I can provide. Here's my process, and if it's okay with you, this is the process I would like to follow. Can we do that? And they'll tell you yes, or they'll tell you no. You can volunteer to be controlled, right? You can say, okay, sure, you can control me. I'll just follow you forever and never get $1 from you. You'll get all my free. I'm sure everyone here has provided free services, like crazy, and you can volunteer to do that. You can make a conscious decision to do that. I sometimes do that because I feel, okay, I'll do that. I don't have a problem with that. Like, coming here and talking to you guys, yeah, no problem. I'll do that. That's no problem. It's my decision to do that. Or I could say, no, I don't really work that way. This is how I work. This is my process. I may not be right for you. Now, and that's what I would do if I were you, Monica, is just do a takeaway and say, hey, look, I've been thinking about this, and I may not be the right solution for you. And you'd be amazed. It's like a slingshot. As soon as you do the takeaway, they come right back to you. because if they truly need you, they're not going to let you go. And you just take yourself away. You take yourself out of this may not work for you.
Awesome. I can actually attest to that. I've used that myself and it works quite well. Thank you so much. That's about all the time that we have for the presentation piece. Alan, that was awesome.
Yeah, can I say one thing? I just want to say you can, you caught me in the middle of a website change, but my website is bigbookofsales.com. My email, if you'd like to talk to me personally, is bigbookofsales@gmail.com. And I do provide coaching, and what I do one-on-one coaching, and what I do when I do coaching is I don't give general advice. I focus on your specific sale, your personality, where you are having trouble, where you're getting stuck, and we can focus on solving your problems. Not every problem, but the 2, 3, 4 problems that you're having. And typically we have pretty good success with that. And I thank you, Dave and Chantel, for inviting me. Appreciate that.
Yeah, my pleasure. That was actually going to be my question. How do people get in contact with you and follow up with you? So thank you for doing that. Chantel, would you mind? Oh, it looks like somebody already put it in the comments.
Put it in the chat, so that way everybody's got access to it. And of course, oh, sorry.
I would highly recommend getting in touch with Alan. And then also check out his video, The Trial Close. That's one that I really like. And also How to Sell This Pen. It's got over 500,000 views on YouTube. So that'll give you a couple more tips. And then we want to continue to bring real experts to this group. So next week we have an attorney. What are the chances of getting to ask an attorney questions and not have to pull out your wallet? So that'll be your opportunity next week. And thank you again, Alan, very much. I think everybody really enjoyed it. And we'll turn it back over to Chantel for the next phase.
And of course, the spirit of announcements, we do take the chat and put it into the our Facebook group, so you can be able to see everything else that's going on in there and be able to look up those links later as well.
You know what I forgot to do? We got to get our group picture.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody ready to smile? 3, 2, 1. All right. Thanks, guys.
Very cool. All right. So the last 5 minutes or so, we open up for announcements. So does anybody have an announcement they'd like to put out there? Jill?
If they're not aware that there's a social media conference that's going to be in Denver on the 30th of June. It's some of the people who spoke at Social Media Marketer in San Diego. They're going to be here. It's a much smaller event, but it's Friday the 30th of June. If you want information, let me know and I'll get you information on it. It should be a really good event, but it's limited to 150 people. So if you're interested in learning more about social and how it works or how it affects your business, it would be a good place to be.
Thank you, Jill. And then I saw Stephanie.
Yeah, my business partner, Bathory Reardon, and I, we've been working on a co-authored book. Make more sales with group marketing messages that get you more referrals. Finally finished the manuscript this week. So I'm happy about that.
Congratulations, it's really cool.
Thank you. I need to get the just a sales page up on my AllPro website next week.
There you go. Sounds good. Well, if you need any help, you know where to get it.
Yep.
All right, anybody else?
Baseball game tomorrow for those who are in Denver and want to come on down to the bar that we're going to be hanging out in downtown. So for those who want details, let me know. That's on the Facebook page as well.
All right.
I'll be there, Adam.
Awesome.
Miss Coach Destiny?
I have 2 events. One is going to be on April 27th of this month, so I'm going to put it in the chat. And then I'm also doing a complimentary coaching sessions to fill a new group program that I'm doing, so I'll add the link to the chat as well.
Excellent. Cool. And then anybody else? Looks pretty good. I don't see any more hands. Well, of course, our announcement is Alan's putting more in the chat for us. So our announcement is we'll be back here next week. So feel free to join us. Love to have you guys. And looks like Monica also had an announcement.
Oh, I'm gonna, because I talked about it earlier. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But I'll be speaking at the Loveland Startup Week tomorrow at the Loveland Library, 9:30 and 10:30 about blogging.
Cool.
All right, so that's 45 minutes of networking. Can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down for today? How'd it go? How'd you like that? Awesome,
nice.
Huh? All right, thank you. So next week, we get to talk to an attorney. Come up with some good questions. Let's try to stump them. 45 minutes of networking from your desk. That was a great event. Thanks for coming. And we're going to go ahead and leave the group open. So if you guys want to chit chat, we'll be here.
Yeah,
I better get going, but I hope you guys have a great day.
Yep, I have to run
Good to see you, Stephanie.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, Joe.
I love this because I just injured my knee and I can't drive. So I can like do all this and still do my business with a busted knee. So I'm so excited. Thank you.
I hope it heals soon.
Yay.
It's good to see you on here, Dennis. You're muted.
Go ahead. I fixed him.
All right. Thanks for the invitation. Really appreciate it. Enjoyed it. See you next week.
See ya.
Absolutely. Good to see you, my good friend.
Hey, Adam. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. You're not as tan as you were the last time I saw you.
No, I got to get some sun.
That's right. It's right around the corner, isn't it?
That's right.
Nice.
I'm going to I need to take some more pain pills and get some ice on my knee. So bye, you guys. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Dave. This was awesome.
See you, Destiny. Abby, I'm curious what your thoughts were.
Wait, am I there? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I was going to talk to Tim for a second. I really liked it. It was really good. I got a lot of takeaways. I have notes. I will have you know, just like I took notes for you the other day. I was like, I hope he can see me writing this because I am taking notes. He was giving me crap. He's all, "Are you writing down notes?" When we were talking the other day, I was like, "Is that your nice way of saying don't call me next month with the same questions? Did you?"